I moved to New York, I've just fallen in love with the way education is here. It's so diverse, and I've constantly loved how to learn and teach myself as I teach the kids. It's just such a great way to grow and learn and become a better adult every day, and I'm teaching them to become better adults and citizens too.
I think more than anything, our kids need to feel that somebody cared about them, somebody really wanted to know how they were on a human level, not just on an education level. My students, when they come back and they visit me and they say things like, you know, I loved being in your class because I feel like you really cared. That's what I want them to remember, because I think I want them to be happy, I want them to be well adjusted, I want them to have built character above all. So the education piece is obviously very important, but the piece where they became wonderful human beings and they felt cared about and they felt loved in the environment of education, that means more to me.
So I want them to remember that learning is fun. Learning is not a means to graduation, or learning is not a means to getting a good score in the Regents. Learning is something that will help them grow and will help them just really appreciate life for everything that it offers to them. And learning is also an opportunity to become empowered, and that they can become great citizens and really engage as citizens as a consequence of learning.
I believe there is such a thing as natural born teachers, and I believe I have it. I'm happy about I have 3 of my former students being my colleagues in my school now. And the 4th one just started this year as a sub-teacher. I think I had my part in that decision. That's what I'm saying.
Again, I'm a science teacher, and so I hope that they see the kind of beauty and wonder in nature, because it's the way I feel about it, and that they really kind of get that ideas should be questioned and tested. And that's not just true in science, that should be true everywhere, so that even if they don't move on into a STEM field, that when they hear things they should ask, do I believe this, do I not believe it? And how do I go about deciding whether that's a good idea or not?
So not only am I from New York, a product of New York City schools, I started to get the itch for wanting to teach and be involved in education. I just had a natural love for literature. So couple that with wanting to give back to my community, it just felt like going into New York City public schools was the natural place. I wanted to be able to help kids who had similar backgrounds or situations like me.
I mean, I think you have to look at the students, and are they engaged, and are they growing, and you can look around the room and tell if you're reaching them, if they're paying attention into what they're doing. And even if that is not necessarily reflected in test scores, you know what they were when they came in, and you know how they are when they leave your classroom, and so I think that's really important, barometer.
You're a teacher, there really isn't a job that's more rewarding. I mean, always you're educating the students or the children. What's more valuable of a resource than the children? So you always get your answer right there. Why are you doing this? To bring up the next generation, to influence the youth to believe the things you believe, to just see them take the lessons you give them and apply them. It's just very rewarding. And just, their positive attitude at life because they are so young.
In the classroom, I make fun of myself. It's always self-effacing humor. I never have to raise my voice. If someone says something inappropriate in class, or they get off task, then I'm the one that's really off task, and I put all the attention on me as far as making a mistake. I want students to feel like they can really be themselves in the classroom. When a student thinks about what it's like to be in my classroom, I think they'll walk away knowing that education is hard work, education is extremely important, and it's serious. But learning is fun. Learning is interesting and funny, and something that they'll really remember.
In the classroom, right? It's all about the classroom. It's about when I am talking to the students and the students talking to me and each other, and I just look around the classroom and right? You just know, right? The way they're looking at each other, the way they're looking around, the nod of the head, the eyes. That's the moment